Before and after. The car, which had skidded, spun around, and finally flipped over, was just then hit by a cop car driven by Constable Liv Marciano. Liv exited slowly, her hand on the gun in her holster, and walked towards the beige Honda Civic, now upside down, but still virtually intact. Inside was a man she had seen before, though she couldn't place him. A gun lay beside him, the inside of the car roof now pooling with blood. He blinked at her behind the windshield, and then passed out. It was just after 4 o'clock. A crowd of hungry Eastern European tourists, a group of teens sucking back frozen macchiatos, and an old lady walking a black Scottish terrier gathered on the sidewalk. They had all been chatting before the crash, even the woman to her dog. But now the corner of Lamont and Oak Streets downtown was quiet. Liv went to pry open the driver's door, and when it finally swung forth, she remembered who the man was. The father of a friend from elementary school. Dan, a blonde and quiet boy who mechanically picked his nose and ate it every day she had known him, oblivious to the giggles and ews of his classmates. One day in grade 3, Dan brought his giant dad to school on career day to talk to the students about his job in insurance. He spoke of cars and homes and how important it was to protect them in case of robbery, fires, and floods. Tornadoes too, he added, frowning. You never know what can happen. He showed them some before and after pictures. One house had been burned to cinders before, and with the insurance payout, the family had been able to buy a new home in the same neighborhood after. Everyone in the family was okay, he reassured the class, although he chose not to mention the dog. So you know, he said, a smile stretching across his tan face, even though they lost most of their possessions, at least they were able to find a nice, comfortable home to live in. As you can see, it even has a pool. A pool! Nobody in Mr. Drew's class had a pool, and some of the kids immediately contemplated the benefits of arson. A girl named Tracy, who always wore pastel dresses, white patent leather Mary Janes, and her hair in French braids, put up her hand. "Have you ever seen someone die?" she asked. Henry looked a bit taken aback and laughed nervously as he began pacing, his 6'10" frame inches from the classroom's low ceiling. Then he stopped and turned to look directly at Tracy. "Yeah, my mom. I was 10 years old. She was making dinner, and my dad came in and shot her in the face. There was a lot of blood. Some of her brain landed on the lamp and on my sister, and some of it fell on me too. On my Superman shirt," he said. "I was 10, he said again, looking now at Dan, who stared back at his dad and then at the wall, his finger never leaving his nose. After a moment, Tracy and some of the other kids, but not Dan or Liv, started sobbing. And Mr. Drew freaked out in his own imperceptible way, but before they did, a stunned silence enveloped the room. Kind of like now. For Liv, the memory brought a sudden tenderness that welled in her throat as she saw that this man from 30 years ago wasn't unconscious anymore. He was gone.